You would have heard the phrase divide and rule before. And it's a very popular phrase. People use it a lot, divide and rule. And what happens in Nigeria is not far from divide and rule. It is used in many, many cases. Politicians use it a lot against the people. And perhaps that's the reason why the people are never united on anything, right? There's this popular belief that the political class is united, whether they are from different ethnic groups, Hausa, Yoruba, Igbos, they're very united. You see politicians attend parties together, their kids intermarry. There's a close relationship amongst politicians outside of what the people know. But the people themselves are not united. And this is not because the average person will not like to unite with someone from the other tribe. It is because the political class is united in disuniting the people. That is the reality. And so when you wonder, how did the divide and rule strategy begin in Nigeria? It is not far-fetched. You don't even need to think too much. The colonialists brought it to us. Yeah, divide and rule was a key strategy of the British colonialists, and that was how they conquered Nigeria. I don't want this video to be about blaming the colonialists, about blaming Britain, because in any case, the British left Nigeria over 6 decades ago, over 60 years. A child that was born in 1960 will be about 65 years now. That's an adult. That is not a human being that should blame someone else for his or her challenges in life. But it's important that we understand the origin of our problem before we even begin to attempt to resolve them or solve them. Right? How the British began from 1988, when colonialism sort of began in Nigeria, was to play up ethnic groups against each other, right? For example, in the East, where warrant chiefs were used to sort of lead the people or rule the people, these artificially created symbol of authority of the British were made to be superior over the traditional chiefs, sort of creating rifts between the people, amongst the people, and that rift made it impossible for the people to unite, because at every point in time they were sure they had loyalists among the people who would fight for them. In the north, they had attempts of divide and rule. Nationally, they played different ethnic groups against the other. They played the Hausa Fulanis against the Igbos, played them against the Yorubas, gave power. They distorted the power dynamics of Nigeria such that the other tribes became angry at the Hausa Fulanis because they were given too much power by the British. So, and they did not do this unintentionally. They were very, very intentional and clear-eyed as to what they were doing. They knew that if they could break the unity of the people, there was no way that the people could unite against them. So whether it was around how they played power, whether it was around how they played ethnicity, used religion, used resources, they played the people such that the people could not form a united force against them. And it worked for them. And when they left, the people that took over from them, the Nigerians whom they handed over power, had learnt well, and they continued in that trajectory. So, fast forward to today, you'll see divide and rule in almost every facet of the Nigerian life. You'll see it, right? Think back at 2023 election when the lexicon of fake bishops began in Nigeria, where a candidate pretty much raised fake bishops to convince Christians And he had their buy-in, he had the support of the Christian leadership in the country. How they played the Muslims in the north. I mean, in our political trajectory, you'd see the attempt of the leadership class, right, to play the people against themselves, to make the Yorubas and feel like the Igbos were their problem. I mean, just think back at how the election was in Lagos, when Lagosians were pretty much abusing the Igbos and blaming them for whatever challenges that they thought that their candidate, the current president Tinubu, was going to have. Right? There was one time that a traditional ruler from Lagos State threatened to throw the Igbos into the lagoon. I mean, look at the north. Across Nigeria, across the length and breadth, the people are grossly disunited. And I tell you, it is not by accident. It is not by accident that the average Nigerian, right, does not think that someone from another ethnic group is a friend and not a foe. It is not by accident, right? Politicians sit down, craft strategies as to how to hit heads together, because that is the guarantee. That's the only way they know that they can pierce through whatever united front that the people have. And that's why the people have never been able to unite. When you have a president that is from the north, right, and you have people saying they want to protest against that president, you'll see northerners come up and say, oh, it is the Yorubas that want to take out our president. Oh, it is the Igbos that want to take him out. You have a president from the south, you have a Yoruba president there, and there's a move towards protesting. You'll see all sorts of agitation against the people's agitation, claiming that people from other ethnic groups want to take out this president that is from this particular region. So, divide and rule really is a key problem for where Nigeria currently is. And until the people realize that their problem is not the person from another ethnic group, that their problem is not the person who worships another god, that their problem is not caused by their neighbor. Until the people realize this, they're going to go nowhere. They're going to go nowhere. Take this example, this classic example of divide and rule. There's a family that has three very bright children. One is a mathematician, another is an artist, the third person is a musician. And you have a neighbor who then chooses to sow discord in this family and tells the mathematician that you're the brightest, you should lead this family. Don't let your brothers play you around. He goes to the artist and tells the artist that you're the most creative, you can lead this family. Don't let the others play you around. This same person, this same neighbor goes to the musician and says that with your very sweet voice, you should be leading this family. Don't listen to your brothers or your sisters, right? And the kids now believe, the brothers and the family people, the brothers and sisters now believe that they're the brightest, right? And they go with that mindset and begin to fight amongst themselves. And somehow they trust this neighbor and rely on the neighbor to even help them fight their fights. At the end of the day, the neighbor leads this family, while the owners of the family, while the actual family members suffer. That is Nigeria for you, right? That is Nigeria for you. The West came, knocked our heads against the other, and led us. And the people couldn't do anything about it. They still can't do anything about it. Even now that it is their own people that are maltreating them, that are misruling them, that are responsible for their continuous impoverishment. So, the crux of this talk is, it is important for Nigerians to realize that their problem is not from the next person. It's not from their neighbors. It's not from their brothers. It's not from people from different ethnic groups or different tribes or different religions. Their problem is largely leadership. And until they realize and come to the enlightenment that if they should change anything, there's a need for unity. Just as much as the politicians are united, the people will need to be equally united for the politicians to take them seriously, to respect them enough to do right by them. All over the world, no set of people thrive where the political class does not respect them. If the political class doesn't respect you, doesn't fear you, it will abuse you, right? Until the political class realizes that the people have the capacity, right, to discharge enormous force. The people have the capacity to be united, to come in mass and use the system to take them out. They will not respect the people, right? And I'm talking largely even in the democratic sense, whether it is through the ballot system. If the politicians know that you are aware enough and that you can all come together in mass to leverage the democratic system, even through the ballot system, to take them out, they'll begin to respect you. Until then, they won't. And right now, it doesn't seem like the people are aware. And so, sadly, forgive me for bearing bad news. Sadly, this exploitation, this marginalization, this structural, systemic impoverishment of the Nigerian people is going to continue until the Nigerian realizes, wakes up, and ends this power given to the leaders to divide them and rule them arbitrarily. Peace.